right. You're gonna find some viewfinders at your desk, which you can use to help you get some interesting compositions from your still life, right? Turn it sideways, turn it vertically. Just make sure you're not zooming into an area where there is literally nothing. Another option, instead of using the viewfinder, is to access your camera gallery. You can do this by taking a picture and then editing your picture using the edit tool and then the crop feature. This way, you have access to cropping the picture in a lot of different ways. So access the crop tool, and then you can kind of come in and select the area in which you want to draw. Okay. Remember, you want to avoid having spaces where like nothing is going on. So for example, is that a great composition? No, there's just not enough going on in that area. Okay. So when you're working, if you want to work in with your camera and you want to crop, make sure you're seeing a decent amount of items within. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean by this digitally, although you're going to be working through this in your sketchbook with pencil and paper. So I got the thumbnail that I'm going to use. Yours will be drawn. And then I decided, based on my worksheet that I filled out, that the thing that I want people to remember about me when I'm gone is that I like to create, and that sketchbooks are one of my most valuable possessions, okay? So here you can see my image of my thumbnail, and here you can see an image I pulled off the internet of a stack of sketchbooks, okay? Whatever that is that you're putting into your work that's coming from your imagination, that you're inserting into the still life, you're going to need some sort of photo reference of that. Don't just make it up in your head. You're going to need to know what it looks like. So the internet is fine. You can use your own camera roll if it's something that you've taken a picture of personally. So just make sure that you're referencing an image for that. Now, you have to decide, like, where am I going to place this? You have a couple options here. You could potentially leave items out. Like maybe I wanted to take this and put it where the skull is. So instead of the skull being there, I now have a stack of sketchbooks in its place, right? Those are things you're going to need to work out in your thumbnail sketches, right? In my instance, I think I want to take the sketchbooks and like place them underneath this fruit so that this stuff is all elevated a little bit, maybe not quite so much. So what I would do is I would actually sketch that in where I want it. So maybe I want those books to be kind of placed under here. So my fruit is just setting up a little bit. You can see where I'm getting, my little stack of sketchbooks coming in. Okay, and again, it's easy for me to show you digitally, but you're going to be drawing this by hand, right? So you can see where, I'm taking this reference image here and I'm adding it to my still life so that I'm adding my... asking yourself, what should I be getting done today? Today, you want to have this worksheet filled out completely, remembering that there is a back to this worksheet. So once you've filled out the front, it's going to ask you to break things down a bit further and narrow your ideas. If you're at home working virtually, this can all get done digitally on a Google Doc. Once you've filled this entire thing out, you have some ideas and some images that you're going to use to put into the still life. The next thing you need to do is walk around the room with your camera and look at the different areas of the still lifes and decide how some of those still lifes can interact with these images. Which ones would be best, and then start photographing different angles and thinking about where you might insert them so that tomorrow we can jump in to your thumbnails. So this paper is due by the end of the period.